Welcome back to the channel, everybody. What I want to talk about today is a dilemma we've been having lately. We've been having such an issue with flashes. You've seen some of the videos we've made lately. We've tested the newer Z2. We've compared it to the original Godox V1. Well, let's get into the story. So if you've been following the channel, you know that we've had some flash issues. My wife's flash, a Canon 580 EX2 that we've had since it first came out, which is probably 15, 20 years old now, has just disappeared. Just disappeared. And that's her main wedding flash that she uses on top of her camera at a wedding. I do have my Godox V1 that I use on top of mine, but that doesn't leave us another flash for another Canon camera, and she uses the Canon 6D and I use the Canon R6. Now we do have a Canon 420 or 430 to 430EX. This is older than even the 580 EX2. Now this is a very small flash. It does work. Turns on usually. I think the batteries are dead, and it will bend. It will fire some, but it's not in good enough shape that I would take to a wedding to even use as a backup. So we're on this mad search to find a good flash right now that my wife can use. The Z2 I liked. I loved the menu. It was a great price, but it did have a little color shift. I decided for a while to keep it, and then I changed my mind and decided let's keep testing the waters a little bit further. So we've got another flash we're going to show you tonight, and then we may have one more flash if this one doesn't check all the boxes that we're going to check out. So we got to get it right because, you know, me and my backups, we do have another Godox V1 for our Lumix we use for receptions, but I like to have multiple flashes when we go in because you never know when something's going to break, and you got to have backups for those cameras. Got to have multiple flashes for those cameras. So what we're going to take a look at today is the Godox V1 Pro. Hey guys, I just want to take this second of your time. If you guys would please hit like and subscribe, it would go a long ways toward helping our channel and help us keep making these videos. Thank you. Now this one is a little different. It has a flash right here on the front, if you can see this. So when you bounce your flash, you still get some direct light at your subject. Now, some people are going to love that and some people are going to hate it, and I'm kind of in between. I can go either way. I can really dislike that because it's going to give you some straight harsh light, or I can really like it because it's going to feel the light in the eyes. So it's kind of a 6 one way, half a dozen another. There's good and bad to it. So, but let's open the box and see what we've got, and we will get into a test shoot with this flash soon to see what it does color wise and how it does, if it's as good as the regular V1 or if it's better than the V1, or do we need to look on. I'm also looking at a flash, the Westcott 580, the Westcott FJ82, I believe it is. I want to check it out, but let's take a look at this one first. So let's open the box. We've got the, like I said, here's the Godox V1 Pro for Canon. It'll have the little C on it for Canon. All right, so we're going to open it up, and we got all your normal stuff. You got your little towelette. And I'm not sure what that is. I've seen these before. I can't recall what that is. Well, it's got to be something to go around the round head for it. I'm not sure what that is. I have to look that up. I don't remember. And there's the directions. A diffuser. Legs for the flash. You want to stand it up. The battery. And I've got extra of these Godox batteries, so that's one good thing. If we do stick with the Godox, we've got extra batteries of these so I can keep in the camera and have one charged up at all times. So that's always a good thing because a flash is no good without a battery to run it. So you've got to have a lot of stuff to keep things running like they should. This is probably all the charging cords and adapters and yeah, cable, all that kind of stuff there. I won't pull all that out. Pretty much get the idea of what's in there. And then here's just some table salt if you need some salt and pepper. And I'm kidding, don't. This stuff is poison. Apparently it works really good to keep. It's either a big scam. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is the biggest scam in the world, but they say it keeps liquid out of everything. And I honestly, I don't think I've ever opened a box that's full of liquid, but I don't know how this keeps the liquid out. Anyway, that ain't here nor there. I don't even know why I brought that up. Just something to talk about. And then here is the USB-C cord. And here is the star of the show, the Godox V1 Pro. Let's take a look at it. All right, so here it is. And there's where the battery goes, and there's where the flash will go onto the front. Let me see, that flash may have been, I didn't see that. We'll find it. We'll keep looking. We will find it. Let's see what happens. Let's put this battery in and see what happens. All right, so it lights up. Menu came on the back. And this can be like all your other Godox. You can control other Godoxes with this, or you can use triggers to fire this. All that Godox stuff works together. That's one of the things about being in that Godox ecosystem is everything works together, and it's amazing. I can fire other flashes with this. I can fire this with triggers. Just everything works together, and it's an amazing, convenient way, and it's awesome. And I do love it. That's one thing I love about Godox is that amazing system that they have. I want to find. There it is. Wow. Okay, that was a little. I was expecting it to be bigger than that. All right, it's hidden in that little box, and he pushes. This goes in, and that goes on. So it's not hard to get on. Just push it on just like that, and now it's on. And if you got it down, I believe, I don't know if you can set it or not, but if it's all the way down, it won't fire. But if you point it up, it will fire. I don't know if you can see it firing in the camera or not, but it does fire when this is pointed up. And you can control the strength of how strong it is. I do like that, so that will be nice. The menu on this is basically identical to the other Godox, with the exception if you've got the little flash on the front to mess with. It does have I like the modeling light it's got on it. You can turn your modeling light on, so if you're in a dark room and you can't see, and you want to just light it up, you can turn this on and you can control the power from behind the camera, and you can just turn it off. That way, if it's dark and you're trying to see your subject before you fire the flash, you can turn the modeling light on and see them. That's really helpful. I like that a lot. Let's see. So the menu is basically identical to all the other menus, with the exception of, you can control the power of this little thing. So we're going to be putting this on the camera and doing some test shots of it and see how it holds up. We've only got a few more weddings to get through before next year when we go full-time YouTube. But for those weddings, I do want them to look really good. Every wedding is just as important as the one before it to me, and I've done over 1,000 in my career, and every one of them has been important to me. And I think that's what's allowed us to do so many weddings, is we take them so serious, and I treat every wedding like it is my own wedding. How would I want my own wedding to be done? So I go overboard with flashes, extra backups, extra cameras, everything extra. Make sure you get it right, because everybody's wedding is important. Anytime you're doing a photo shoot for somebody, especially on a day as important as their wedding, go at it as hard as you can, give it your all, make it your wedding, and make it look good like you were photographing your wedding. I always try to leave them, like when I leave the wedding, I'm like, all right, I love these shots. Go through and find some of the shots I love. I'm like, I love this, I love that, I love this. I'm driving my wife crazy usually on the way home, so I'm like, I just love that one shot we did. But it's exciting and it's fun to go and get really cool pictures for people. Then you know they're going to love them, because they're going to be like, wow, that's the coolest picture I've ever seen. And that's what you want when you're shooting weddings. You want them to go, wow, that's the coolest picture I've ever seen. That's awesome. So that's how you keep clients. That's how you keep shooting weddings, is get better all the time. But you got to have the right equipment to do that. You don't have to have the most high-end, expensive equipment to do it, but you got to have the right equipment and enough equipment. So anyway, I'm going to put all this Godox back in the box. We will be testing it out. If anything special about the box written on it. It's mostly written in Chinese, and I'm not too polished up on my Chinese. It is the V1C for Canon. I was talking to somebody online the other night. They were selling a Godox V1C, and they had it listed as a Godox V1 for Panasonic. And he said, and I said, I was trying to be nice. I told him, I said, that's a Canon V1 you got right there. I don't want somebody to drive 200 miles to buy it and then be mad at you. Oh, that's a funny joke, but you're wrong. That's for Olympus. He said, no, that's for Panasonic. And I said, well, no. I said, if it was for Panasonic, it would say V1O as Olympus, because Olympus, Panasonic, Olympus all fall under O for Olympus when you're dealing with the Godox brand. So then he apologized, but I don't know why he got so upset. I was just trying to keep him from getting cussed at from somebody driving 100 miles, because he said he had a Godox flash that would work for a particular brand that won't work for her. But he's happy now, I guess. I don't know. What are you going to do? Try to help people and they get mad. But anyway, part of life. So I'm looking forward to trying this thing out. We'll get some test shots done. I've got a few girls lined up. Hopefully I've been saying this, we've had to change with the girls a few times over and over. In about 2 weeks, which will be even longer before we get them onto the air, 3 to 4 weeks, which have some models that we've got lined up. We're having a hard time getting the girls lined up with their schedules. But they are coming, I promise you. We'll be seeing them, but we'll be getting some test shots of this done soon. I want to see how this looks, know if we're going to go with this or if we need to take a look at that Westcott FJ flash and see what it's got. Because it has a very cool touchscreen on the back and it doesn't have this. I got to decide. Really, the color output is the most important thing to me, and the Godox selling point for me is I'm already in their ecosystem, and we have plenty of Godox stuff. For example, I showed you the Canon 430EX. It's old. It works, but I don't trust it enough. This is the Godox for the Canon. This is one I use most of the time. And this is the Godox. It says O for Olympus, but it goes on my Lumix G9. So those are the main flashes we have right now. And then I've got, all the adapters and stuff to go on top, extra batteries, everything you need. So anyway, we'll get this checked out. You guys let me know if you've used the Pro and what your thoughts are over the Pro versus the regular V1. If you like it better, if you're a fan of this, if you're not a fan of this, just let me know. If you have any other photography questions, just let me know down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If we're helping you guys out, give us a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. You guys have a good day. Thanks. Bye.